Fullatch. They've been training up at the Sugar Kulu Stadium in Claremont. And now looking to dispose of TTM and find themselves in the second round of the Nedbank Cup. Straight away, it's the amateurs from Venda on the charge. Cross coming in on this left-hand side from Tole. But a little bit behind Strail.
Yeah, it's a good start from TTM, and I'm sure Coach Nalokau would have hoped that's what his players' intentions were very early on. Like I said, it's always the fighting spirits of the lower league teams that makes this cup competition so exciting.
TTM have risen and then disappeared 3 times now. The club. Let's just watch what Hotto does here. The ball looks to be out of play. There'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, just as you could see, as the ball went over the top, the long pass to Hotto didn't hold up much. As yourself, as both of us saw the pitch being watered just before kickoff, so that ball just going to run a little bit faster than expected.
So TTM bought the franchise, you'll remember, of Bidvest Wits, and in their first and only season in the top flight won this Nedbank Cup, but the club was sold within 6 months of it being purchased from Wits. Then they purchased the franchise down in the NFD from Bloemfontein, and only recently back again purchasing the franchise of Maroleng Celtic to compete this season in the ABC Motsepe League in Limpopo. TTM are second from bottom of the table there. They've played 8 games, won only 1. Yet they have got through the regional qualifiers here into the first round of the Nedbank Cup, despite very poor league form. And we'll be looking today to forget all about that, and let's see if they can perhaps cause something of a sensation. Moremi with a little touch. Back in from Nemtangela, who gets an opportunity in the starting lineup in place of Makala, who's been rested.
And that's no easy feat also to make the last 32. It's quite a tedious process for ABC and SAFA League teams. Got to play about 5 games in order to make the last 32.
Long-range effort, try to test the goalkeeper Mohale in goal today. Former player from La Masia and Jomo Cosmos keeping goal for TTM. This is Magada on the left-hand side, jersey number 10. Man in the middle, Mponzo. Waiting to see the skills of the 16-year-old Sebadi. Looks like he's over on the right-hand side. This is a nice little pass into space. And an opportunity to set things up. All the way to the back with Mashiani. This is Shabalala, whose elder brother, Justice Shabalala, played for Orlando Pirates, albeit very briefly. Also Free State Stars and Chippa United. He's at Gomora United now. Played on Wednesday against Mamelodi Sundowns. So siblings in the Nedbank Cup already this season.
It's amazing when you watch siblings. He's got a very similar running style to his older brother. That few seconds he was on the ball, you could exactly see they're related.
Bata. Now Dion van Rooyen, who's come back from injury since the break for the Africa Cup of Nations and reclaimed his spot on the right-hand side. Over the top from Mbata. Off the chest, looking for De Jong. There's the appeal for a penalty. And the crowd certainly have found their voice, but it's taken away by Butuma. Mtajela. Here's De Jong, and that'll be a foul against the new man.
I think the official will say the ball came off his thigh onto the hand. Wasn't directly contact. Actually, no hand. It was more his thigh and face. Van Rooyen just... De Jong just foul on Ngobe.
Sabisi back to the goalkeeper. Under a bit of pressure here, Buthelezi gets rid of it just in time. Well, it's a determined start here from TTM. It's understandably so. They must be fired up with the opportunity to play against Pirates. Apollos now, early ball in here, flags up for offside. Referee hasn't seen it, allows play to continue. And now the whistle sounds.
Very unfortunate. I think Yanele Mutumba just made that run a little bit too early ahead of the defender. You can clearly see just had to stagger that a little bit. He's got enough speed to get ahead of the defender. But those are the type of passes that TTM needs to be careful about.
Sabisi today partnered at the back by Chapatsane, signed from Marumo Gallants in this January transfer window. De Jong coming, of course, from Stellenbosch. The other signing for Pirates in this window, Daniel Sendami, the Zimbabwean winger, is on the bench today. De Jong just caught there by Mponzo. There's Van Rooyen. And Tajela. Sean's mentioned already how hot and humid it is out there. Pirates have had plenty time to get used to it here, and of course coming from the north, from the Venda area, I'm sure TTM are used to the heat, maybe not so much the humidity. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. The challenge came from Ngobe, the most experienced man in the team. He just got caught for pace. And Apollos wins Pirates a chance to go into an early lead.
Well, it seems like Ngobe thinks he didn't make contact. He thinks Apollos more avoided the tackle. It will be interesting to see. Definitely ran across him. There is contact. The swing in that left foot and catching the boots off Apollos.
Yeah, you get an impression from his reaction there. He realized that what he'd done. There were no real complaints either from Ngobe or his TTM teammates, and it looks as if De Jong will be given the responsibility on his full debut, a chance for him to open his account. He scored only twice this season at Stellenbosch, both of them in the same game. Now there's a bit of gamesmanship going on here. Mohale, the goalkeeper, has gone walkabout.
Well, he's generally quite calm when it comes to penalties, and he almost like just steers it into a corner most of the time to the left side of the goalkeeper. So, but there's a big responsibility on your debut.
A couple of years ago, Mohale was a bit of a hero at the Phillies games, where he scored where he saved a couple of penalties in a vital shootout to decide the outcome of that famous competition. Let's see if he can pull it off again. De Jong looking to get Pirates in the lead, does so efficiently, and within the opening 10 minutes the Buccaneers have got what they were looking for. That's perfect really when you're up against a team that you don't really know.
And that's a perfect start also when you're given your debut. A massive game for him today, obviously to cement, not to cement himself in this Orlando Pirates team, but also to get things going in his Orlando Pirates career. You can see everybody's very happy.
No, he seems to be a popular team member.
Substitutes also joining in, which is quite nice to see. I'm surprised Coach Wadu didn't make that run down the line as he normally does.
I think he might have tweaked his hamstring in midweek.
I think he knows the surface is wet, so I'd rather stay within the space.
But no doubt about the decision from the referee, and De Jong took this expertly. Picks his spot, sticks it away, and the Buccaneers have the lead here against TTM. Had a good record in this Nedbank Cup, TTM, after they won it and when they had sold their franchise and were now resurrected again and playing in the NFD. They reached the semi-final. Took a couple of big scalps along the way. In 2022 they lost to Maruma Gallants in the semi-final, but beat Golden Arrows on penalties, and Supersport United along the way. And there is a history of taking some scalps, but it'll be a big ask here against Orlando Pirates. They'll be looking for a flood of goals now. Here's Dino van Rooyen. That's good play from Ngobe.
Yeah, it's always disappointing to concede so early. I think it'll raise a lot of concern for Coach Nalukahu. Difficult now to contain Orlando Pirates team, was confident after that early goal.
And in a way a little unshackled as well. There'll be, you know, the conventional wisdom is try and get an early goal against an unknown factor like TTM. But be careful, don't make any mistakes along the way, and then of course you get the early goal and you almost feel a sense of relief and a freedom to now go out and play. Score update from elsewhere. Sekhukhune have gone into the lead at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. They're up against Highbury.
Mohali visibly not happy with his defense, allowing the Orlando Pirates too much time and space and making those runs in between the defenders.
Dion Hotto came on the left-hand side for Ndaba in Tuesday's game, keeps his place there. This falls for De Jong. Play on, says the referee. This is Mponzo. Nice little combination play with Matuntu. Magada. Cover defense from Subisi. And De Jong will let this go out for a throw-in.
This is the confidence and the fluidity in the Orlando Pirates team we've seen all season. Very comfortable moving the ball around. Players changing position.
Van Rooyen on the right. Played back by Apollos. De Jong, Apollos. Get another bite at it. TTM doing a lot of chasing now, which is going to sap the energy. And remember, the intensity at which they play week in, week out does not match that of Orlando Pirates. They won't have that extra bit of gas in the tank, as it were, from playing at a higher level, at a higher intensity. And it will be visible normally later on in the game. Here's De Jong.
And when you come up against very good quality, you'll feel at times that you're chasing shadows in this heat. It's not going to be easy.
Well, under pressure and in danger of losing the ball here. This will be Mache who gets rid of it. Only as far as De Jong. Apollos. There's a bit of space for Mbata. Into the sunshine on the left-hand side with Hotto. You definitely want to be a right-sided player now in the shade here. Switched to Apollos. Does well to bring that down first time to the byline. Still Apollos. That's a good determined tackle to stop his progress made by Magada.
Like we heard before the match from Coach Nelekau, you know, to start with 5 under-23 players, it is about giving opportunities, but yeah, sometimes it's a baptism of fire for them.
First set piece opportunity of the game.
Hopefully nobody takes the coach's towel away.
No. Well, I'm surprised he doesn't have a camouflage towel for the game to go with the chance at the back post. Not met with much conviction there from Orlando Pirates against Mbata.
He's a little bit unlucky in that incident. I thought it was both players going shoulder to shoulder, Masiani and Mbata.
Still moaning at the referee as well, showing the competitive nature that these players have, even when they're up against the so-called lesser opponent. Nicely done here. Then Tangela on the right-hand side, early ball for Batuma. He might get a second bite of the cherry here. Not properly cleared. This is Mbata territory. Likes a long-range shot, takes a deflection, and Pirates have a second.
Took a vicious deflection there from the strike from Mbata, but we know what he's capable of. Anything from 30 to 20 to 30 yards away from goal. Mohale had no chance whatsoever.
We'll have to see about that shot from Mbata, but to be fair, if it's going on target, you've got to give him the goal, even if it does take a wicked deflection. And we saw a little bit of controversy about the own goal for Amazulu on Tuesday night, where Mofokeng hit the post, the ball came out. So there's no ways it's his goal, it hits the back of the goalkeeper's head. So we'll just have a look here. But if Mbata's shot was going goalward, then you've got to give him the goal. Let's have a look here. It's from some range, that looks goalward. It does take a deflection. This will give us a much better view. I think you've got to give that to Mbata. Sean, it's
it does come over Mponzo, but the ball was definitely going in the direction of the goal.
Here's Sabisi now. Now, Van Rooyen, De Jong. Nice skills from Coach Wadu. That's the biggest roar of the game so far. Much louder than the 2 goals.
Yeah, I think sometimes the fans forget that some of these coaches were players in the heydays as well. I think I might have played against him actually when he was at Fulham.
Yeah, he played Premier League in the UK, and he was in the. You would have possibly played against him at the Cup of Nations as well. With he was with Morocco. Here's De Jong, cross inside, and the clearance will come from Mashiani.
It's always good to see when attacking players are trying to set up their striker, and Mbutuma leading the line.
Moremi.
Good strength shown by Sabisi. Just holding off Strel.
Bit of a heavy touch there from De Jong. He's been everywhere in this game. Relishing the opportunity to start here today for the Buccaneers. Switchfield pass will find Van Rooyen and Apollos. Chabatsane through the middle. Great little run from Hotto. And there the ball skidding off the wet surface.
You see the coach saying, just be patient. Don't have to rush. Every pass doesn't need to be forward. Also in this heat, you've got to try and preserve as much energy as possible.
Crowd still coming in here in their numbers. I think once again a little bit of confusion about the kickoff time, because with these cup matches we're starting half an hour earlier than we normally would in the height of summer. League games on a weekend are 3:30 kickoffs afternoon, but because of the potential of extra time and penalties, we have a 3 p.m. kickoff for all of the cup games. We did warn everybody last night, Sean.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, and they've missed 2 goals already.
Yeah, you come late, you run the risk. Now going back to check on the goalkeeper who's down.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the injury or anything, because you can clearly see all the TTM players are gathering now around coach Nelukau. It's a tactical meeting here for the coach, just giving instructions to his players.
This is Apollos being brought down. De Jong putting the penalty away. Celebrations for the New Zealand international, and then the second goal from Mbata. He strikes it, takes the deflection off Mponza.
Try sometimes it's good passes that you make, but not every time. This one I'm okay, but these passes in deep, try to find the number 10. I want you to find these passes between the lines, okay? Why? To control more the ball. Okay, guys?
They are midfield press, the defensive press, but now you guys are hiding. So you push. Come on, man, we're here to play. Oh, let's take it serious, man. Yeah, so I'm saying avoid playing from the back.
Lovely work again by our audio team, and you can hear both coaches and get a sense of the instructions being handed out. Quite a lot of coaches there on the TTM side, Sean.
And it's quite interesting. You see the contrast, obviously, with Orlando Pirates. Coaches telling the players to be a little bit more patient, be calm, and on the other side, they wanted more aggression and more pressing from their team, TTM.
Now let's see what Buccaneers can do again with this 2-goal lead. De Jong, it's gone over the top. Half volley on the edge of the area. Well worth the shot.
Yeah, those are one of the most difficult techniques, the half volley. Because the bounce obviously can be a little bit uneven, and if you catch it the wrong side.
So to this match this afternoon here is first tier against third tier in terms of league status of these two sides. There are 2 games featuring teams from the top tier against the second tier. That's Sekhukhune leading Highbury away by 1-0, and also Uppington City against Magesi. That's 0-0 at the moment in Uppington. And then there are a couple of all-amateur. Well, there's one all-amateur game, Cardinals 0, Jaxa Spurs 0. And one amateur team, third tier, against second tier Kazakh Stars, who are doing very well in the Motsepe Foundation Championship. Army Rocket 0, Kazakh Stars 0. Some great names this year, Sean. Cardinals, Army Rocket, Jackson Spears.
Sound almost like baseball teams.
Exactly. Yeah, you wonder how much firepower the Army Rockets have got. We'll know later today. There's one match at 6 p.m. tonight. It'll be live in your World of Champions. All top flight clash not far from here in Umlazi. Golden Arrows up against Orbit College. Now ball gets away from Tole. Well, he's kept it actually, and being forced away by De Jong. Shabalala, his defensive partner Mashiani. This is Ngobe. Mohache, the left back, pushed it up very high now, and he gets the foul there by Mbata. De Jong and Ponzo known as Terminator by the fans up in Venda. Driven in by Ngobe and Buthelezi, who cannot be expecting too many touches today. Finally gets an opportunity to get his hands on the ball. Nemtanjela. Sabisi, of course, back in his home province, having started his career at Golden Arrows. Van Rooyen, good running from Batuma. Now needs a bit of support. Van Rooyen again. Mbata, he'll be looking for another one. That's a bit too far out. Quickly taken as well up front. The chase is on. It's Stale who is the lone figure up front.
That was a decent strike again from Mbata. Probably more placement than power this time around.
Mbata once more with Sabisi. Interception on the right-hand side from Matuntu. There's an opportunity for a hatful of goals this afternoon for the Buccaneers. A team whose own coach has been a little critical of their finishing prowess of late. Feels that they haven't been clinical enough in front of goal.
Well, they do create a lot of opportunities. I think the conversion rate should be higher.
Tajela and Van Rooyen not on the same wavelength there. All smiles in the end. Coach does not look happy. Gorbe now will switch play over onto the right. Ponze in the middle. Taken away by Apollos. Mbata, De Jong in space. Moremi likes to cut inside. Moremi. A fairly quiet game by his recent standards so far.
It was a perfect opportunity for Hotto coming in late there just to lay it off in his path.
De Jong with another effort. Not enough power on that one.
Seems like Mohale loves this drop kick.
Yes, and he finds the lone player all out on his own Stoyle.
I think it's only him nowadays doing a drop kick.
The old Kune style.
The Kune is the other side volley.
That's right. This is nice work by the teenager. Sebadi, 16 years old. Gets out of 2 challenges there, then plays in wide out to the right. Ngove. Mohache. Sebadi sees off the challenge of Apollos. But lots of confidence. That's a good interception from Hotto. Moremi. Hotto steaming down the left. It's come to Apollos on the right. He's looking for Hotto. And sometimes Dion Hotto just overshoots it a little bit.
It's a little bit too fast there running forward. But the pass from Apollos, probably a side-footed pass would have been a better option.
That would have been a difficult one to bring under control. It was hit with some power.
Actually, talking about drop kick, I think the only other keeper I've seen also left with is Washington Arubi with Gallants.
Gallants in action tomorrow. Not going Orlando Pirates' way, that decision. Mbata somewhat bemused. Gallants are playing TS Galaxy, by the way, tomorrow, 3 p.m. kickoff. That is also live on your World of Champions. The game will be played at the Solomon Masangu Stadium as opposed to Bombela. Kamasanga. De Jong back to goal. Keeps possession. Out wide here to Moremi. It's a tight angle. Strikes the upright, but the flag was up for offside. Not a bad effort from that tight an angle. Nice little work from De Jong holding up the ball and seeing off the defenders. Very tight decision against Moremi.
Could have been marginally just onside if you look at the closest defender's back leg. But it was on his favorite left foot.
Keswick Stars are in the lead against Army Rockets. Army Rocket, singular. Goal for Mokhadi. So no upsets yet in this competition. That game, by the way, Army Rocket against Keswick Stars, is at Olympia Park in Rustenburg this afternoon. It is a day in the sun for a lot of these amateur sides, an opportunity to be on the pitch. This is Sefadi over the top. Well, he showed some nice touches, this 16-year-old. Stoyle looks to be in a bit of trouble. 27-year-old former JDR Stars player. He's had some experience at the second tier of South African football. This young man will be the focus of some attention from clubs elsewhere, I'm sure, when they get to hear that there's a 16-year-old playing against Orlando Pirates. He's got to have something about him, and we've seen a couple of nice little turns and touches. TTM did organize, a few buses for their fans. It's a long trip for Toyando and Chakuma and all the way down the N1. Then you turn and head towards Durban.
I was just going to say, as you saw the pictures, good to see there's some support that came out.
Subs might get a little run earlier than expected.
And those are all 3 of them under 23 players as well.
Now, you were mentioning earlier 5 players in the ABC Motsepe League must be under 23. 5 in the starting lineup or 5?
5 in the starting lineup.
Wow, that's good for development. Now pressure on from Van Rooyen. Does he get any purchase out of it? And Bata just there a little bit quicker. He has Moremi.
I think Mbata was expecting that return pass from Moremi.
And he looks a little dejected as he walks back. Now Sabisi. Well, they're not exerting themselves too much, Orlando Pirates, understandably so. They've got Marumo Gallants next as they continue their quest for league success. A game that will be played at the Orlando Stadium next Saturday, this time 3:30 kickoff, and then Wednesday that follows that, the 18th, they take on Sundowns. Top of the table clash. Good save from the keeper. Another shot directly at him though. And after Sundowns, they got the derby against Chiefs. So Gallants, Sundowns, Chiefs, their next 3 games. So you can understand if Pirates are not going to exactly play at full pace now, given they've got a comfortable lead and not really under any pressure here against the amateurs from Venda.
I think that Sundowns game has been moved to FNB Stadium.
That's correct. It was at Orlando. Will be played now at Soccer City.
But that would mean consecutive games at Soccer City.
Although a 10-day gap between the 2. Down goes for the left back Morache, and this will be a first chance for us to see what TTM have been working on set piece wise. Bata gives away the free kick. Bit of a lazy leg out there from him. So some work for Buthelezi potentially. Stales back from his injury concerns.
Captain has pulled the ranks, hasn't he?
Yes. Next to him, another senior player, Ngobe, who gave away that early penalty. Let's see what they do. And Ngobe takes it. Oh, that's a superb goal. Catches Buthelezi at the near post. And the former Spurs, Galaxy and Chipperman finds the back of the net, reduces the score, and more than makes up for that penalty he gave away earlier in the game.
Well, I think they fooled everybody else. Not just in the stadium, but around the country, expecting Svel to take that as the attacking player. And Ngobe comes with a perfect taken free kick and brings back the voice of the TTM fans. Buthelezi will be thinking what we could have done better.
That's a superb free kick.
Oh, if you look at the height of the wall, it's not that many tall players. You expected someone like Mbata to be in there. I don't think anybody expected him to strike, take a shot at goal directly. We always say that 2-0 scoreline is the most dangerous scoreline in football. Just once the opponent pull one back.
Shabatsani now. Wide to Moremi. Well, there's 6 minutes to half time. This will get energy back into the TTM ranks. Moremi. Mbata. I think the crowd want a little bit more here from Pirates this afternoon. Van Rooyen, square ball, evades everyone. A little bit behind both Butuma and Apollos. Now long ball forward from Stoyle, looking for Magada. %71% possession for Orlando Pirates, but the scoreline is 2-1. TTM, magnificent goal to reduce Pirates' lead. Sabisi. Good run from De Jong. Does so well when he drops the shoulder like that. Chamatsani just gives that a big old hoof. Butuma on the chase. Now, can he evade his marker? Support here from Apollos. First touch was a bit heavy. Throw in will go TTM's way.
And suddenly it seems like everything is falling for TTM after that goal. Seemed a lot more comfortable also moving the ball around. Got a bit of confidence back in this spring.
Coach Wadu, of course, won't know too much about cup football in this country, but where he comes from in France, there is a very long tradition in the Coupe de France of amateur teams knocking out the big boys. It's a big day for them. It's alongside the FA Cup, massive in Europe, the French Cup, just because of all the upsets. And so he's probably seen a lot in his day, not only playing but also just watching French football all the time, and he'll be very wary of the unknown, which in his case today is TTM.
He might have done all the analysis like you mentioned in his pre-match interview, but when it comes to the emotional side, these players will play out of their skins. We know opportunity for them also to showcase to Orlando Pirates and other teams around the country what they're capable of doing.
Well, the right back Matuntu is back on his feet, ready to resume. Now with Osman Apollos and with Kosinati Spisi. A fair number of players here with a cup medal or two at home, but some of them who recently joined will be hoping to also bask in Pirates' newfound status as the local cup kings. Foul in favour of Stroll, who might have actually slipped there.
I think it was just before he slipped, there was a little bit of a push from Moremi. Probably just put him a little bit off balance.
Well, that goal for TTM certainly makes this an interesting cup tie, and just gives a little bit of edge now. You get the feeling that there's a bit of concern in the Buccaneers camp. Now, we'll be looking for a quick third, maybe before the break. Van Rooyen. Clearance is high up into the air. Nemtangela rather getting a little touch. Now the foul against Orlando Pirates again. Chance for TTM to clear their lines. He slipped a little bit, Van Rooyen, as he hit that.
I think quite a few of these players are trying to get used to the surface. It's a little bit slick on the top with the water being applied to the field just before the start of this game.
There's Hotto. So into stoppage time at the end of the first half we go. 2 minutes have been added on. Keswick Stars have doubled their scoreline against Army Rocket in the Nedbank Cup game being played in Rustenburg this afternoon. And Keswick Stars sounds like a team that some of the big boys will be keen to avoid when the draw is made. That'll be on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a team also, I think, for the last 3 seasons that's been in the playoffs. So, no, exactly.
And they're right up there again.
Exactly, yeah. So, looking to get automatic promotion this time around, fighting with Milford, Cape Town City, one of the teams as well.
It's not the first time Mohache has been injured.
Well, that goal that Ngobe scored, I just recognized that that's the first goal that Pirates have conceded in 7 games. They've had 7 clean sheets in a row. Last goal was also here in Durban against Golden Arrows when they won 3-1. So it's a team that's quite disciplined when it comes to defending. So,
and what makes it even more interesting is it's from the beginning of November, 8th of November. This is Van Rooyen. The whistle sounds from the referee. That's enough for the first half, he says. So Pirates with a early lead. The penalty from De Jong, then Mbata with a deflected shot, doubling the scoreline. It looked as if it was going to be a comfortable afternoon. But what a free kick from Ngobe.
It was a great strike. Nobody expected that, including Buthelezi. And that's a wake-up call for Orlando Pirates that they need to increase the tempo in the second half. After scoring the second goals, they just went down a couple of gears and relaxed. And maybe didn't expect TTM to come back into this game, but now all up to them to increase that lead or give opportunity to TTM to fight back.
Still some way to go. Is there an upset in the offing here in time? So presumably those two standing by to come on for Orlando Pirates here in the second half. Goals from De Jong and from Mbata in the first half. But then TTM reducing the score with a wonderful free kick from Stimbiso Ngobe. So there is confirmation from those pictures. Sendami will come off the bench yet again. He hasn't started a game for Pirates since his move from Arumo Gallants, but has had some action off the bench. And Maswanganyi these days, Sean Bartlett, no longer the regular and the playmaker that he used to be for Orlando Pirates. A chance for him to enjoy a good half of football, maybe more, here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's the luxury that Coach Wadu's got, you know, bringing quality like that off the bench to replace the likes of, you say, De Jong. And I don't see Moremi either, Mark, back on the field. So those could be the two possible substitutions for Orlando Pirates. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for Tito to showcase what his abilities are and to restart again, I would say, for Orlando Pirates in the second half of the season.
So Maswanganyi receiving some final instructions there from Rayon Jacobs. There is the potential of a change as well for TTM. looks as if they are going to be bringing on Muko Mafedzi, another one of the under-23 players. We did see him warming up a little bit earlier. Stale was a 9-year-old who did have a couple of nice touches in that first half. Maybe not physically involved as hard as he could have been, but he's taken off now, and Muko Mafedzi comes on in his place, and Nsindami and Maswanganyi on for Orlando Pirates. So what effect will these changes have? Well, the next 45 minutes will tell us. Nedbank Cup first round action, second half underway, with the Buccaneers attacking the goal to the left-hand side. They have won this trophy 10 times previously. Only Kaizer Chiefs have won it more. They've got 14. Both clubs have been to the final 20 times. So Pirates, in other words, have lost as many as they've won, with a 50% record in the final. Although, to be fair to them, the last 3 finals, they've won 2/3 of those. First entree of Sindami, played against South Africa for Zimbabwe at the Cup of Nations in Morocco. Nemtajela into Maswanganyi. Strong clearance for TTM at the back from Mashiani, used to play for Magesi and for Lerumo United most recently. There's Maswanganyi again. With Mbata. And Gobe with the challenge.
That is what you're going to see from Maswanganyi, getting on the ball as much as he can. And I'm sure that was instruction also from Coach Wadu. He's got to get in between those lines.
Otto now with his pace. Combination, Nemtajela, he's onside. Here comes the cross. Struck with some power. TTM, of course, are the home side for this game, electing to bring this game to Durban. It's obviously a fair money spinner for them today. A decent crowd despite the heat. Magada keeping possession. Matuntu gives it away, though. Only as far as Mbata. Here's Apollos. Butuma running through the middle. Might be a bit of a decoy here for Apollos. Space on the left. Sindami, can he put his name on the score sheet? Good block.
Oh, that's the risk of TTM if you're overplaying and giving possession away. With the quality that Coach Wadu and Pirates has, you can find them in that final third very, very quickly with a couple of passes. Apollos always with his speed a threat.
Otto takes it. Butuma. Mbata. This might fall for Nemtajela, and he misses, as he did last weekend from close range as well. I mean, he might need to do a little bit more work on.
I think he was more surprised than anything else that this ball actually fell to him. Stayed on side.
Well, last Saturday in the Magesi game, he had a glorious chance from similar range.
You've got to give credit to Shabalala also, just disturbing him at the last second, not having a clear opportunity at goal.
Stoyo plays it out wide to Magada on the right. Pirates deal with that threat fairly comfortably. Early stages here of the second half at Moses Mabhida. Just a reminder, Golden Arrows next against Orbit College, 6 p.m. kickoff. All top flight clash in the first round of the Nedbank Cup from Umlazi. Live coverage on your World of Champions.
It's always nice to see teams having a go at each other. You expected TTM probably to absorb as much as again from the beginning, but they haven't set back at all.
That free kick from Ngobe must have given them a massive injection of confidence, energy. Here they come again. This is the substitute, Muko Mafedzi. Mbata. Maswanganyi. Butuma. Can he play the 1-2? Maswanganyi. That's a lovely goal. Superbly done by the Buccaneers. Just what the crowd came here for. And Patrick Maswanganyi on the pitch for under 5 minutes makes an immediate impact.
And that's why he was brought in at half-time. They needed a player in that 10 position to get in between the midfield and the defense. And the minute he received that ball from Mbata, he knew exactly what he was going to do. But you've got to compliment also Yanele Mbutumba. Mbutumba does really well with that wall pass. You know, that combination working and paying dividends very, very early. Critical phase again. And the coach made his way down to celebrate with the team.
Yeah, I think I would too if I was him. This is so superbly done. Perfect passes, nicely weighted, and excellent finish with the right foot. Just sweeps it home, Maswanganyi. And so the 2-goal lead they enjoyed until just before the end of the first half is restored. Now, big question is, can Pirates go on and get a healthy scoreline here, or an emphatic scoreline, or are TTM going to battle away with them and make this a tough afternoon for the heavily fancied Pirates? All to be revealed.
Oh, that's a bit premature from the ref.
Yeah. Butuma had a lovely first touch as well, although probably doesn't feel too badly about it because didn't have much in the way of support. Pirates, we've mentioned, 2 wins in the last 3 tournaments and 3 successive finals. The record is 5 finals in a row set by Pirates in the early 70s, 1972 to 77. They won the first 3 and lost the next 2. Sandani finds Van Rooyen straight across. Maswanganyi in there. Just a little too much.
I needed somebody to have a strike at goal eventually. Everybody just trying to almost play the ball into the back of the net.
Strail. It's a nice little ball over the top, and Hotto has to come and provide some emergency defending there. He's still battling away with it. He's a big fan favourite. Sindami to Apollos. That's going to go all the way for a corner.
Otto had to intervene as Buthelezi took a bit of time to come out and gather that ball. I don't think you'd have gotten there in the first place, so good decision by Otto. But now another opportunity from this corner.
It's only the second corner of the game, and Maswanganyi to take it. Now, the referee having a little word there with the substitute. A very late challenge with a knee into the thigh as well.
Unnecessary.
That kind of intent is worthy of a yellow.
Got to watch Sabisi on these type of set plays.
Towards the near post. Keeper had a little bit of a distraction, did well to hold on to it. And he just kicks it forward and straight back at Orlando Pirates, all without much purpose. Sekukune still leading away at Highbury down in Gqeberha. Jaxa Stars have taken the lead against Cardinals. That game being played in Bethlehem. Keswick Stars are 2-0 up against Army Rocket in Rustenburg, and Uppington and Magesi still 0-0. Here is a chance for Maswanganyi. Right footer over the top.
That was another perfect opportunity. Just got to keep it a little bit lower. The technique again letting him down.
Was there? There was left foot rather.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think he needs to take a leaf out of Mbatha's book, how to keep it a little bit lower, find the target.
Sabisi battling away there with the man who's just come on, Mukuma Fedzi. Shabalala under a bit of pressure, could lose possession here. But the whistle is sounded. That'll be a free kick in favour of TTM. Big noise or big roar here from the crowd because Sipho Mbule looks like he might be coming on. Looks to be in a little bit of trouble there, Tole.
We mentioned before the tempo of this game. Some of these players will struggle to keep up. Not at the same fitness level as the Betway Premiership teams. Yeah, I think the coach has decided to take a seat on the cooler box in the technical area instead of sitting on the bench. And
yeah, he's not doing the image of coaches much good with that cap and just the general look. So many young coaches now in South Africa are coming through and really projecting a very good image of local coaches. We've seen, we saw yesterday, for example, Coach Badela from Durban City. Now Buthelezi beaten by one free kick. This one is directed up into the air. There's a little clearing touch there from Sindami. Mpozo. Off the boot of Van Rooyen. Buthelesi's got to come out and collect, and he'll get the free kick there. Impeded. And looking a little ring rusty, I think.
yeah, didn't look very confident coming out.
Van Rooyen. Flies off the head of defender Shabalala. Or, excuse me, defender Mashiani. So Sibele and Mbule look as if they're going to be coming on to add to the attack. And another TTM player down, and fatigue now really becoming a bit of a factor. We are approaching the last 30 minutes. Man who is down is Tole. We saw him needing a bit of treatment earlier on and does not look happy.
It's also just another way of disrupting the rhythm of Orlando Pirates, who are on the upper hand at this moment in time.
Well, they'll be looking to take him off, make a change. We've got Zwanga Makadi standing by to come on. You can see him there in the back of the picture. And in the meantime, we are on top of the hour mark. Sipho Mbule has not played any competitive football since coming on as a substitute in the second half, 75th minute of South Africa's loss to Cameroon in Rabat in the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations. Sebele will presumably come on the right-hand side, give Dino van Rooyen a bit of a break. This might be his last contribution. Beaten in the challenge by Mohatse. Now another player down. This is Mponzo.
I think it was just unfortunate with Apollos avoiding the tackle and caught him with the knee. Yeah, you can see just jumping up, catching him with the knee in the ribcage area.
Matuntu's gone down as well. Boots off, needs a bit of ice on top of his foot. Becoming a bit of a war zone out there. So Makadi's coming on. And we reckon Tole will be the man to depart for TTM. So Nemta Jella replaced by Mbule in the midfield, and Apollos departs to allow Sebele on. So it's Dino van Rooyen who stays on in the right back role. Am I right in saying that? I can't see him on the field. No, he's got the throw in over on the far side, excuse me. So it's Sebele on for Apollos. The ref stopped the game to sort out the treatment for Tole. Makadi's in, Tole off, and then Ponza back from injury, and they wait for Matuntu to be allowed back on the field as well. So back to a full complement of TTM. Sindami, Maswanganyi, and Sabisi finds Mbata. Chance for Sebele on the right-hand side to get involved.
Well, it seems like most of the players taking...
Hotto! That's a good save.
What a save. I was just about to say most of the players taking place in the half of TTM seem to have gone down in tempo, maybe struggling a little bit also with the physical side.
So Sipho Mbule, always a crowd favourite. Can he engineer a few more goals for the Pirates faithful to savour here this afternoon? Sabisi. The turn from Maswanganyi, switches play, looking for Hotto on the left. It falls here for Butuma. Gets it onto his right. Almost fell for Sebele. Now Mponza. Shabalala and Ngobe still stuck in their own half. Good little turn here from Mukomafedzi. He's been a bundle of energy since coming on. They've put together a good 6 or 7 passes now, TTM. Can they keep it going? Forcing the foul and getting the free kick. That goes against Sebelivele. Nice little positive period of play for the team from the third tier.
Well, they've scored for a Madarek free kick, and the second one was fumbled by Buthelezi, so I'm sure they'll feel confident putting another ball in there and see if they can challenge the goalkeeper for it.
It's high up in the air. Butuma back helping. Chance from Mponza. Fell to his left. He was a little unsteady.
They expected a little bit better. It is his stronger left foot. Just got to keep it down. It's always difficult when the ball is rising to keep it down.
Well, there was that moment of excitement for Mponza. Maybe split seconds patience might well have set it up a little bit better for him. Here's Mbule. 65 minutes gone now as Hotto gets the ball inside for Butuma. Just a little too strong. Good contribution again from Hotto, who's under threat these days of losing his regular left-sided role with Ndaba coming to the fore, signing from Richards Bay. Mbule going to get the free kick. Now, what sort of range is that? Maybe a little bit too far out. Let's see.
I don't know if there's one person that would fancy this, probably Dion Hotto. He does have a decent strike with some power on it from that distance.
Well, they have given it to him. And there won't be any decoys here. He's definitely the man who's going to take it. With that left foot of his, of course. Can he make it 4, Dion Hotto? Just past the 67th minute mark. Hotto goes for goal. It bounces just in front of the goalkeeper, who scrambles to pick up the rebound. And he is claiming a little bit of injury there, and then looks at Mbata, who tried to get out of the way. He was tapping his foot there, the goalkeeper, like he'd been mortally wounded. Then just had a quick look to see where Mbata was. The foot tapping
He was
stopped.
trying to avoid Mohale more than anything else.
Yes, I think he just caught him there, to be fair. On the drag through there, just catches him there. But that is Oscar winning. Come on, that's fabulous. Give him a Golden Globe. Bonga Nkosi Stwale is the skipper today. There's his opposite number, Kosinati Sibisi. Butuma might yet get a full 90 minutes. He's usually replaced by Mahopa, or the other way around. Comes on for Mahopa on occasion. They've been sharing that number 9 role, given away here by Mbata. He apologizes to Van Rooyen. Well, again, TTM impressing with a fair number of passes. There's signs every now and then that the fatigue might be creeping in, but then they put together a nice little series to debunk that theory. It should be a Pirates throw-in.
So much space across the field now for Orlando Pirates to go and exploit. It's taking their time moving this ball around.
There are enough players in the Pirates lineup who are on the fringes of selection who would see this rare opportunity as a chance to grab the headlines and boost their chances of more regular football. On the other hand, it's a Pirates team with a very taxing program coming up, and when you can stroll through this, there must be the temptation to just see out the remaining 20 minutes or so without too much exertion. Butuma. There's some good defensive work on the part of TTM. So lots of money available in the Nedbank Cup. 7 million for the winner. Plenty of incentive to lift the trophy, plus a place, of course, in the African Confederation Cup next season, which in itself brings more prize money. Here's Maswanganyi. Clearance is only as far as Sibele. It's not working out between Sandami and Sibele, but still with Hotto. You can hear the murmurs from the crowd. I think they want a little bit more of an exhibition from the Buccaneers. Maswanganyi threads it through. Hotto can go all the way here. Early ball for Butuma. Good save. In fact, if he'd left that, I think Sibele would have been in a better position.
Oh, I just think his first touch was a little bit unfortunate. Ball getting away from him and Mohale making a great save. I thought initially just going to strike it first time. Probably been the better option. As it came across his body, he just got to steer it back to where it come from. But again, Mbule, Mashongane, the two orchestrating the things here in the midfield. As that first touch just bounces up, it takes away an opportunity for him.
They do get the third corner of the game, Orlando Pirates. Curled in. Header over the top from Sibisi. Yeah, a lot of cooks in that broth there.
Well, the coach did mention pre-match, you've got to put the young players in the hot water.
Here is Van Rooyen with Maswanganyi back. Sibele, Van Rooyen, Mbata. He was looking for Mbule there, Maswanganyi. Now, Pirates continue. Sandami. Mbule. Back again with the winger. Bolted back onto the right. Well, Mbata stays down, and now the ref's finally stopped to allow him some treatment.
I think it was a late challenge on him as he tried to go for the 50-50. Look at this, got caught on the top of the boot.
Was that a full contact though, just a little scrape? All his teammates encouraging him to get up and get on with it. There are just over 15 minutes remaining. Coach Wadu says, are you okay? Do you need to come off? So just to remind you, the draw for the last 16 will be held in our SuperSport studios on Wednesday. It'll be live at 7 o'clock. We can tell you, of course, that Mamelodi Sundowns were the first team to go through because their game started earlier than Stellenbosch, who beat Kaizer Chiefs. Stellenbosch #2. Then yesterday Vasco da Gama became the third side, and Durban City, who needed extra time and penalties to get past Chippa United, the fourth team into the last 16. Kazakh Stars are well on their way. Jaxa Spears are 2-0 up away from home in their match against Cardinals. Sekhukhune are still leading Highbury by a single goal, scored very early on. And there is still a goalless stalemate between Uppington City and Magesi. That looks as if it's headed towards extra time. Chance here, and Mohale makes another save, this time from Sibele.
There's a lot more space and pockets now for Orlando Pirates to move into. And again, Mashwanganya is the one that's orchestrating things.
Quickly taken here, Maswanganyi with a big hoof on that. Shabatsane coming forward. Now Mbata takes a deflection.
Did that come off the referee?
It did,
surely. I think the ball needs to be given back to the Orlando Pirates team.
Yeah, he's called for the ball, the referee. Now watch what he does. This is fairly recent change to the rules, where if the ball strikes the referee, yep, he's done the right thing. Back with the Buccaneers. He got it. It was quite a venomous kick at the referee. I think many players would enjoy that opportunity, don't you think?
Wasn't enough time for him
to... Not trying to encourage anything here now.
There wasn't enough time for him to get out the way anyway.
Here's Hotto. Sandami very quickly cut down. The defense is still committed here. Pirates just a little bit quicker in all of these challenges and sitting on the edge of the area, looking for goal number 4. Hotto, Masanganyi. Mbata, Mbule, Mbata again, another long range from him, off target.
Just dragged that one across his body. Good combination play again, Mbata and Mbule. Kept it low, but just couldn't find the target. TTM just overplaying at the back, giving possession away.
Now Hotto, Masanganyi. They'll have a quick turnaround here after the conclusion of this match. Remember, 6 p.m. Golden Arrows and Orbit College in the first round, up in Umlazi. Maswanganyi gets past one challenge. That's a good save. Nice bit of skill from Maswanganyi to make some space for him. I don't know why the keeper's moaning at the defenders. That was expertly carved out by Maswanganyi.
I think he's having a go because not putting any pressure on the opponent, allowing strikes, free strikes to come towards the goal. Definitely had made a massive impact here in the second half. Mashanganya.
Now Mbule. Crowd want a fourth. Curled in. Good little flick at the post, at the near post from Sibisi, but once again a headed effort from him, just a little too high.
Yeah, it's the second opportunity for Sibisi. It's the build-up play.
Sibisi is going to depart as well. as we watch Maswanganyi's shot. So Sabisi's done his work. Coach is giving an opportunity here to Thabiso Sesane. He was, of course, first choice at one stage and then had a very serious injury. Back in the fray for Orlando Pirates. It's good to see when players make their comeback after a long period out. Mohale's receiving some treatment, but you'll remember before the rise of Bekizele Mbokazi, Sesane was key man at the back for Orlando Pirates, and then injury for the 25-year-old has kept him out of the game. Did have a little run in that All-Stars match in December, but his last competitive game, Sean, on the 5th of February last year. So it's just on a year since the game against Sekhukhune United, which they won 2-1 away, in which he was injured. He played a few days earlier in the 1-0 win over Chiefs in the derby.
Oh, remember before, like you mentioned, Mbokazi and also Siema came along. That's suspended for this particular game. It's good to see Sesane back on the field.
And nice that the coach has given him just 10 confidence-building minutes here, although in the Carling Black Label game against the All-Stars in mid-December, Sesane did get a full 90 minutes. Goalkeeper still needs treatment, and that means a lengthy wait. Some of that magic spray. This seems to be a bit of a hamstring injury.
I'm not sure if it's the hamstrings or just giving Coach Nalokau some time to make some substitutions here, because we can see some players getting ready to come on.
Well, the changes are Nevari. And then it looks as if Godo Bedza will come on as well. He's an 18-year-old who actually comes from Chakuma, homegrown product. So Mohale is okay, ready to resume. The two changes have yet to be made by TTM. They did not take use of this pause. It does look like Mohale is in a bit of trouble. When he kicked that ball, he felt it, and he's calling to the bench to be taken off. All of that out of picture at the moment. Here's Mbule. Goalkeeper looks as if he can't continue, and now a chance to be tested by Orlando Pirates. Hotto kicks it straight at Mponza. This might fall for Butuma. Neatly done by Ngobe there. And then into touch. So that'll allow TTM to make changes now. Now, Mohale, is he going to go off shortly or not? He's not looking at the bench for the moment.
Well, there's no movement on the bench from the substitute goalkeeper, Mavela. I don't think Coach Nalakawa wants him to come off anyway with the saves he's made over the last 84 minutes.
Nevari on. Godo Bedza, as you mentioned, a teenager. Magada has run his race, and over on the left-hand side, Mohache as well, the fullback. Nice for these young guys to get a little run out here. Say that they played against Orlando Pirates. Who knows, they might be stars of the future. Maswanganyi. This might be a chance here for number 4. Good block from defence. And Sindami still looking for his first goal in Pirates colours. Ball up at the other end. Laid back. Stolen away by Maswanganyi.
Well, it's well worked from TTM, but nobody in that 18-yard area to cross to. Once they get wide.
Sundami. Here come TTM. Maybe another goal, a consolation long-range effort. More in hope than anything else.
In the last 5 minutes of this game, I'm sure Orlando Pirates would love to get a fourth here.
Dion Hotto. Mbule. Maswanganyi. Sendami. Butuma waits in the middle. Looks for something spectacular. That would have been a classy goal and he got the proper connection.
Well, he had to improvise. He was ahead of the ball as it fell behind him, so the overhead kick is the most obvious choice.
So it would seem, Sean, no real surprises here this afternoon.
Yeah.
Pirates not progressing as proficiently as perhaps their fans would have liked, but never really under any threat. Even that goal from Ngobe did give TTM a little bit of hope, but the Buccaneers safely into the second round.
Yeah, I think with the introduction of the players at halftime from Orlando Pirates, who almost seemed to increase the tempo and go a gear up and made it very difficult.
This might be a chance from Butuma. He's going to have to supply rather. That's a strong ball into the middle. Mbata taken away by his own man, Sabele Bere. Here's Maswanganyi. Sendami. And again, an opportunity for Butuma, but nicely done by Mashiani. Just got a touch in there. Referee will now stop play, and there's a TTM player who needs some treatment. In the meantime, let's have a look at that cross and that good defensive work from Mashiani.
Well, it seems like he's had enough. He's taken off his boot, he's taken off his sock. I don't think he wants to play anymore.
Well, he came on at half-time. Looked very impressive, Muka Mafedzi, but he has had a lot to say to the referee while he's been on the park. The adventure looks to be coming to an end for TTM. There must have been wonderful excitement when they drew Pirates in the draw, and then when it was announced you were going to get an opportunity to play at this iconic venue, Moses Mabhida Stadium. It'll be back to the rigors of the ABC Motsepe League, the Limpopo region, where they are second from bottom on the table. Back to reality next weekend, I think, for the TTM players. There is time for one more, you would fancy. Walking pace, some of these TTM players now. We'll find out shortly how much time will be added on. Referee's done a nice job today. Give our Cape Townian compatriot a little bit of a boost there, Mr. Mabuto. We see him often as a fourth official, but handled this match well. Now Mbule, shot from him, goal from him. That's what they came for. Sipho Mbule turns, fires, and is on target into the corner.
Well, that's a great strike. If I can just use the words of a former player, Alton Meyering, he turns, he shoots, he scores. What can you say? He's an Orlando Pirates player.
Yep.
Not just the king of assists. He can also score goals, and some crackers indeed.
Yeah, when he gets it on, been many occasions where those efforts have gone well off, but of late, he's shooting sights have been much better set, and well, this is a sudden acceleration. There's great power in that as well. Almost 2 steps, and thank you very much. And that's probably a better scoreline for Pirates as well.
Yeah, I think the fans will be a little bit more pleased as well, seeing another goal. Also, the way he struck it, you know, he's always going to swerve away from the goalkeeper, Mohale. You've got a feel for him today. Made some incredible saves, and yet on the end of a 4-1 scoreline.
You will see on the scorebug 5 minutes added on by the fourth official, obviously enjoying by the referee rather, obviously enjoying himself. Here's Ngobe. Now Sindami passed one challenge, cut out by Ponza. Navadi, who come on as a sub. Possession taken away though. Sindami, Butuma, he'll take a strike. It takes a deflection. It is going to be a corner kick, another opportunity for the Buccaneers.
Well, something we actually forgot was Makuba Fedze was off the field when the goal was scored. I forgot he actually went off. He just literally hobbled on to the field. And is that him down again?
Yeah, the boots off again.
Well, there's nothing they can do. They've made 5 subs already.
Yeah, the stretcher was called on, and now Mukumofedzi is back up, and Pirates with Mbule to take the corner. Gets a bit of height on it. Shot from Sindami. He'll be disappointed with that. That was an excellent opportunity for his first goal in Orlando Pirates colours.
Coach Wadu still shouting instructions, expecting his team to keep the professionalism as high as possible.
Taken away by Mbule. Well, here's the last little foray for TTM. Can they pull one back? Square ball in. Chance to beat Buthelezi. It's laid back here. The shot will come in. Pirates keep it in play, and they can go hunting down the other end for goal number 5 with Maswanganye. There is time still. Under a minute. Van Rooyen. Are they going to just see out the next 60 seconds, or are they going to look for one more? And then there's your answer. And the referees decided that's it. So Orlando Pirates into the second round. A comfortable victory here against TTM. In the end, a 3-goal margin, and Mbata contributed. Good performance down the left again from Hotto. They tried